Hello, everybody. So we are on the solving proportions part of this lesson 3. And you can practice this aside from the worksheets that I provide. You can practice this on Khan Academy at no cost to you, but you want to make sure you're going down into this section here. This is where you want to practice. All right, so let's go to the whiteboard. And okay, let me X this off. All right, so proportions are things that are basically equivalent. Like when you learn fractions, you might have learned like equivalent fractions or ratios. So, 1/3 is equal to 2/4. It's the same. So with proportions, you will be solving proportions. They're going to give you something like this, but they're going to tell you that instead of this being 2, this is X. And so you then have to cross multiply and solve. So they call it sometimes the butterfly method. You're going to multiply 4 times 1 and 2 times X. And so 4 times 1 is 4, 2 times X is 2X. And so then this is a one-step equation, and we already know how to solve one-step equations. So what do we do here? Well, we divide both sides by 2 to get X by itself. And so X is 2, which is what we just had. Super simple. All right, let's go back here. So here you can see it's the same. We have 8 times k, which gets me 8k, and 3 times 4, which is 12. Yes, for these you can get decimals, you can get fractions. And so for this one, when we divide both sides by 8, you get 12/8. K equals 12/8. So make sure you simplify your fractions. Always simplify your fractions in math. So divide both sides by the GCF, and you should already know how to simplify fractions, I'm hoping. So the GCF would be 4. This would then be 3/2, which is 1.5, or you can just keep it as 3/2. It's fine to keep things as improper fractions, but make sure you simplify. All right, so there are more challenging ones where you'll start seeing, stuff like this, like r plus 2. All right, so let's go back to the whiteboard. So let's delete everything. So we have r plus 2/8 equals 3/2. So you're going to do the same thing. 8 times 3 is 24, and then you're going to multiply 2 times r plus 2. And so you already know how to do the distributive property. You just need to distribute here. And so 2 times r is 2r, 2 times 4 is 4, and then you just have a two-step equation here, which we already know how to do. We just did solving equations. So we're going to minus 4 to both sides, and you get 20 equals 2r. Divide both sides by 2. Turns into a one-step equation. R is 10. So in order to do these, you have to know how to do one-step equations, two-step equations, or you cannot do these. So it's good to make sure you have equations down before doing so. And luckily, if you get it wrong on Khan Academy, they'll show you how to do it. So also writing proportions, this is very helpful. Sometimes you will have to set these up, like in geometry or in algebra, when you have word problems. A lot of stuff you'll be doing is setting up, cross-multiplying, solving sometimes. So you want to know how to set these up. And sometimes you can set them up in different ways, as long as you're setting it up correctly. So 6 erasers cost $6.60. So make sure when you're equaling $6.60, you're either doing it like this. Which equation helps determine cost of erasers? Okay, so if erasers are on this side, then make sure you put erasers on one side, cost on the other. Or you can do this reverse. You can do 3/6 equals x over 660. Or you can put this on the other side. Cost is over here, erasers over here. Or you can flip that. Cost is still over here. Just make sure the 660 goes with the 6 and this goes with the 3. You can even put them in the same fraction, right? So 3 erasers is we don't know, but we know that 6 erasers is 660. So make sure if you're doing erasers on top, they stay on top, or if they're on bottom, they stay on bottom. Same thing for cost. If you're putting something in the same fraction, make sure it goes together, right? You're not going to put 3 over 660. That is not correct. So let's look at some of these to see what's wrong about them. Okay, so this is eraser over cost, cost over eraser. That's not right. This is eraser over eraser. That's fine. Okay, 3 goes with 660. That's not correct. It should not go with 660. So that's why that one's not correct. Cost over 3 equals, so look, cost over erasers equals erasers over cost? No. Okay, so cost over eraser equals cost over eraser. This is fine. This one works. So you just want to make sure you're setting up stuff correctly. And then you could even practice setting these up on your own with some word problems. So Liliana used 4 power crystals to open 14 portals. So we know that this is going to go together. Opening the portals uses up the power. She wants to know how many portals she can open with 10 power crystals. All right, so 4 is equivalent to 14 portals. 10 power crystals is equivalent to we don't know. But we can cross multiply and solve. And feel free to use an eraser. 140 divided by 4 gets you 35. So she can open 35 portals. And so you can see they set theirs up a little differently than mine, but it's fine, right? As long as you set stuff up correctly and cross multiply and solve correctly, you're good to go. So make sure you practice. If you get things wrong, they'll show you how to do it. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.